Gee whiz.
Hello, friends. My name is John Henderson. Welcome to this series of old-time radio show episodes called Gee Whiz. These are the stories of the schemes, trials, and loves of the typical American teenagers, Andy Hardy, Archie Andrews, and Henry Aldrich. You know, Henry Aldrich could be seen in a movie in 1942 called Henry and Dizzy.
Are you experienced in this kind of work?
Oh, well, it's practically the only thing we do. Well, we'll even give you a free demonstration.
Yes. Have you got any flour or talcum powder?
Flour, talcum powder.
Sure. Why, it's always used in vacuum cleaner demonstrations.
Dizzy! Now, don't you worry, lady. Why, this little vacuum cleaner will suck up every last little speck. Give it a gun, Dizzy.
Okay, Chief. Are you ready? Henry, where's the cord to this?
Here is the Aldrich Family radio program from April 30th, 1940.
Henry Aldrich! Coming, Mother.
Aldrich Family, starring Ezra Stone, written by Clifford Goldsmith. Brought to you by Jell-O Puddings. They're tops in taste. To the gallery of typical American boys, such as Penrod, Tom Sawyer, Peck's Bad Boy, we add the name of Henry Aldrich. But now let's go out to the little town of Centerville. Our scene opens on the hillside on the outskirts of town. The model airplane race Henry and his father worked for weeks to win has just finished. Henry is talking to Mr. Collins, the referee.
Yes, but, Mr. Collins, my plane was flying against a very strong headwind.
But I made allowance for the headwind.
You did?
Yes, Henry.
Mr. Collins, what kind of a watch did you time Henry's plane with?
With this stopwatch.
Is it a pretty good one?
It is. Billy Walker's model covered the course in 1/2 of a second less than Henry's.
Not by my watch, Mr. Collins.
Is yours a stopwatch, Dizzy?
No, but it used to belong to my grandfather.
Is your grandfather an official for this race?
No, but he carried this watch for 35 years and nothing ever happened. Hey, gee whiz, look at it. Did it break, Dizzy? Henry, you're standing on the mainspring. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Here's the stem, too. Well, where did Mr. Collins go? He walked away. That's a swell thing for him to do. I ought to make him pay for this watch. Mr. Collins. Hey, Mr. Collins.
Now, wait a minute. I just went over and got these figures.
What are they?
Henry, when your plane was flying, the wind was blowing at 11.5 miles an hour. When Billy Walker's was flying, the wind was 4.5 miles an hour. So I naturally made an allowance of 6 miles an hour in Henry's favor.
Well, Henry, does that sound right to you? As a matter of fact, isn't 4.5 from 11.5 7?
No, sir.
No, I guess 6 is right.
Of course it is.
Only it certainly looks like 7. And I could swear Henry's plane went faster. Someplace there's been a big mistake.
What seems to be the trouble, Henry?
Father, you and I lose the race by just half a second.
And a half a second is a half a second.
I know, Mr. Collins, but that's all it is.
Henry, may I speak with you?
Where, Father?
Right over here.
You want to speak to me, too, Mr. Aldrich?
No, thank you.
What is it, Father?
Henry, don't you think that as long as we lost the race, it would be better if we said nothing more about it?
But, Father, Dizzy's watch didn't register 16.5 seconds.
Does his watch have half seconds on it?
No, but up until a few minutes ago, it always kept perfect time.
Henry, I happen to be doing some business with Billy Walker's father, and it might be just as well if you didn't say anything more about it.
But, Dad, look at all the time we spent building that plane.
After all, we did finish second.
Sure. Henry, I want to tell you when your father something.
Sorry, Dizzy, but I've got to go back to the office.
Well, you'd be very much interested, Mr. Aldrich.
Tell Henry.
Henry, I knew all the time there was something phony. Henry, wasn't every plane that was supposed to go in the race be made by a father and a son?
Sure.
Well, I'll bet you anything Billy Walker and his father didn't make theirs.
Well, where do you think they got it?
I know where. I was just overlooking at it, and I remember seeing the very same thing down in Jones's sporting goods store.
Are you sure, Dizzy?
There's only one thing about it that's different. Billy's is blue, and the one at the store was red.
Then it can't be the same plane, can it?
No, that's what you think. I scratched a little of the blue paint off, and right underneath was the red paint.
Yeah?
Yeah. Henry, if you win, it means a trip to the Capitol.
Well, gee whiz, I don't care what my father says. I'm going down to Mr. Walker's office.
Now, wait a second. Don't go rushing into this.
Why not?
I've got a book at home that'll tell you exactly what to do in a case like this.
Well, what should we do?
Well, before we come right out and accuse anybody, we've got to get proof. That's the important thing, Henry.
Naturally, Dizzy. Anybody knows that. Because you accuse somebody doesn't mean he's guilty. You've got to get proof. I hope you don't think I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you don't know as much about those things as I do, Henry.
No, well, I know where I'm going.
Where?
Follow me. When we bust this case open, it'll shock everybody.
Sure.
Especially my father. Yes, sir. When he hears of it, he'll be speechless. Where are we going? Wait until I show you. Wasn't it funny, Dizzy, when we were talking with Mr. Collins? I could have sworn 4.5 from 11.5 would leave 7.
Same here. But I guess you got to put it down on paper before you can believe it.
Yeah, must have been the fractions that threw us off.
Didn't I tell you, Henry? Look in the window. Look.
Well, you mean here in Jones's sporting goods
yeah.
store? Well, that's the same identical plane the Walkers had. Come on.
Now, wait a second, Henry. Let's do this carefully.
We're going to. We aren't going to rush into it. We'll just be casual.
That's it. And all we'll do is make out we want to buy something, and then we'll gradually lead up to the plane.
Right.
Come on in. Well, where is Mr. Jones?
I guess he must be in the back. When he comes out, don't mention why we're here.
Something you boys want?
Why,
we
just thought we'd look around, Mr. Jones.
At airplanes.
Dizzy.
Did I say airplanes? What I meant was, that's the only thing we aren't interested in.
I see.
Mr. Jones, do you carry baseball bats?
You're looking right at baseball bats.
Am I? Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe that's why I mentioned them.
How much are they, Mr. Jones?
50 cents up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how much are your tennis rackets?
$1.95 up.
Oh, yeah. Well, how much your fishing tackle?
$25 down.
Oh, Dizzy, look at the airplane models.
Oh, sure enough. I haven't seen those before.
Which kind?
The kind Mr. Walker bought. I mean...
What kind did he buy?
Oh, did he buy one?
Who?
I thought you said Mr. Walker bought one.
When did I make that statement?
No, Dizzy, you misunderstood. What Mr. Jones...
Now, just what did you boys come in here for?
Well, Mr. Jones, would you mind if we should ask you something confidentially?
What?
Did Mr. Walker buy one of those planes you have in the window?
Buy one? Not here, he didn't. I only stocked up with 5, and they're all right there.
Are you sure you couldn't have miscounted them?
Yes, sir. Why?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. We were just asking out of sheer curiosity.
Casually.
Well, look who's coming across the street.
Oh, gee whiz, Dizzy, it's Mr. Walker. Well, Mr. Jones, I guess we better be going.
Good afternoon, Jones.
Oh, how are you, Walker?
Hello, Mr. Walker.
Sorry my boy and I had to beat you today.
Oh, we were glad to have you win. I think I'll be going, Dizzy.
I think I might as well, too.
Oh, Walker, maybe you can answer a question for these boys.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Jones. Don't bother him about it.
What was the question?
Well, I can assure you, Mr. Jones, I don't know how the question even came up.
Oh, Walker, Henry and his buddy thought you bought an airplane here.
You mean the plane Billy and I won the race with?
Oh, no, Mr. Walker.
Well, what plane did you mean?
Oh, not any, Mr. Walker. Henry's just confused.
Oh, well, I'm relieved to hear that. I'll be seeing Henry's father down at his office in just a few minutes.
Hello, Henry.
Hiya, Phyllis.
I just saw your father, Henry.
You did?
Mr. Collins was talking to him.
Well,
Mr. Collins was quite mad about something.
about what? I'm leaving, Dizzy. Well, so am I. Goodbye, Mr. Walker.
Goodbye.
Gee whiz, Dizzy, now look at what you've done.
Well, I at least tried, didn't I?
Didn't I tell you my father doesn't want to upset Mr. Walker?
You never mentioned it.
Well, you should have known anyhow. All we did was practically accuse him of cheating. That's...
Henry,
What?
never mind about your father. Here comes mine right towards us.
Good. I hope the first thing he asks is where your watch is.
That's friendship. I tried to help you win a race, and what thanks do I get?
Henry, wait for me.
What does Phyllis want?
What do you think I just heard Mr. Jones say to Mr. Walker back in the store?
What?
They looked at each other very suspiciously, and Mr. Walker said, "Where do you suppose those boys got that idea?"
He did, Phyllis?
Yeah.
Do you see that, Henry? And now do you say I haven't helped you?
Well, I don't know.
Did he say anything else, Phyllis?
Mr. Jones said, "Well, I guess we spiked that."
Oh, we did, eh?
Is that important?
Is it important, Phyllis? Is it important?
Well, I gotta go, Henry. I'll see you later.
Gee whiz. Henry, all we gotta do now is to go through with it.
Don't you think so, Dizzy?
I've got a fingerprint outfit at home, and I always knew that someday it would come in handy. We'll find out whether that plane of Billy Walker's did come from the store.
Sure, all we have to do is get Mr. Jones's fingerprints.
And then Mr. Walker's.
Only maybe we ought to be careful about taking Mr. Walker's.
He won't even know we're doing it. And listen, Henry, we ought to be really systematic and get everybody's print in town.
Everybody? Do you realize how big this town is?
But, Henry, look what they do in Washington. They don't get a few, they get millions.
Well, I guess maybe if they can do that in Washington, we can handle this town. Come on.
Well, here it is, friends, the 6th week of spring. Spring, spring, glorious spring. When a young man's fancy lightly turns to thoughts of, well, you know the rest of that saying. But now that we mention it, just how true is that old saying about a young man's fancy? Suppose we see if we can't find out. Let's ask some young man for his opinion. Listen.
Yes, the statement is perfectly true. In the spring, my fancy certainly does turn to thoughts of Jell-O vanilla pudding.
Oh.
In fact, I think I eat more Jell-O vanilla pudding in the spring than in any other season of the year. Except, of course, winter, summer, and fall.
Yes, well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is an observation that everybody will be glad to echo. Because just about everyone who has ever tasted it agrees that Jell-O vanilla pudding is a mighty swell dessert. Jell-O vanilla pudding has a gloriously smooth texture, as smooth as golden, rich cream. And the flavor of Jell-O vanilla pudding, well, it's simply irresistible. A grand vanilla flavor that hits a new high for luscious, delicate goodness. So try this tempting treat just as soon as you can, and find out the truth of another popular saying which goes like this. When there's Jell-O vanilla pudding for dessert, the thing you think of first is second. Now, getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Henry feels that he has been cheated out of first place in an airplane model contest, and is trying his best to prove it. The time is evening. The scene opens in Henry's room.
It's a funny thing, Henry, how my grandfather was able to carry this watch for 35 years, and I drop it at the end of a week.
Listen, Dizzy, put that away. Haven't we got work to do?
I've got to get it all back together. I've got it all back together except for these two wheels, and if I don't find out where they go, my father will kill me.
He will, huh? But we're coming to the most crucial part of our job. Here we are. We've got fingerprint powder and fingerprint ink.
Henry, aren't your folks having some guests here tonight?
Well, I don't think we ought to take their fingerprints, Dizzy.
Listen, I thought you weren't going to show favoritism.
Yeah, I know, Dizzy, but they're
all
guests.
right, then. We just as well not start this.
Well, can this fingerprint ink do any damage?
How could it?
But supposing it should get on something.
It comes right out. Listen, here are the instructions for washing. It says, easy method for removing. No worry need be caused by damage. Merely dip in kerosene, rinse, and wash with strong abrasive. If first results are not satisfactory, add lemon juice and rub harder.
Well, gee, there isn't anything to worry about there, is there?
Of course there isn't.
The only thing is, Dizzy, when you shake hands with a person, I should think they'd feel the ink pad in your hand.
Do you think they would?
Well, why not? What would they think it was?
Almost anything.
For what? Name me one other thing that feels like a pad of ink.
All right. How would this be? We'll just rub a little ink on the palms of our hands.
That might work.
Sure, look, I've got some on already. Now watch, when I hold my hand down here at my side, do you notice it?
No. Yeah, I think I'll put a little on.
Well, hurry up so we can be downstairs when the guests begin to come.
Okay. I'm all fixed.
Wait a second. Have you got a handkerchief?
What for?
I've got it. I've got it.
Use your own.
My watch is wrapped up in it. My watch is...
Here, take mine, here.
Never mind, I haven't got to anymore.
Come on downstairs.
When we go into the living room, you let me shake hands with your mother and father.
Why can't I have one of them?
Why should you, their son, step up and shake hands with them? Do you want to give the whole thing away?
Well, I get the first two guests then.
Yeah. Now, when I get the ink on your mother and father, watch them carefully. The minute they touch something, Socko, we've got them.
You don't think my mother or father bought that plane, do you?
No, but you never can tell. Someday they might be wanted for something.
Henry!
Yes, Mother?
Are you out in the hall?
We're just coming into the living room.
You mustn't stay down here long.
Oh, we won't, Mother.
Good evening, Mr. Aldrich.
Good evening.
Wouldn't you like to shake hands with me?
Shake hands? Weren't you here with us for dinner?
Yeah, but I just came downstairs again.
I don't think it's necessary to shake hands. Henry, could you hand me my pipe, please?
I'll hand it to him, Henry.
Let me hand it to him, Dizzy.
Please, Henry.
Here, Sam, I'll hand it to you.
Oh, thank you, Alice.
Mrs. Aldrich, wouldn't you like to shake hands with me?
No, thank you, Dizzy.
Won't you boys sit down before one of you knocks something over?
I think I will.
I guess I will, too.
Henry.
Yes, Mother.
I don't like to seem rude, but we are expecting guests.
Well, couldn't we stay down here just until they've arrived, Mother?
Why do you want to do that?
Well, don't you think it'd be nice for us to help greet them?
Henry, I'd do as your mother asks.
Well, in that case, I think I'll be going home.
Oh, must you go?
I think I will. Would you like to shake hands now as I'm leaving, Mr. Aldrich?
I don't think it would be necessary.
I may not be seeing you again right away.
No.
Sam, the least you can do is shake hands with the boy.
Well, if it'll make him any happier. Here, shake hands.
Goodbye, Mr. Aldrich.
Goodbye.
Would you like to shake hands too, Mrs. Aldrich?
I'm sorry, but I've got to go out to the kitchen.
I'll go to the door with you, Dizzy.
You know, I think I changed my mind, Henry. I may not go home after all.
Just 1 minute, boys.
Something you wanted, Father?
Dizzy, what's this I have on my hand?
Why,
This black ink.
Why... Well, how do you suppose that could have gotten there?
May I see your hand?
My left hand?
Your right hand.
Oh, well, what do you know about that? Do you suppose I could have gotten that from you?
Henry, may I see your hand?
Were you talking to me, Father?
May I see it, please?
Well, will you look at that?
If I were you, I would go upstairs and wash my hands.
Yes, Mr. Aldrich, that's the least we can do.
I agree, and please do not come back down while the guests are here.
But, Father, we've got to.
What for?
We've got to get their fingerprints.
You're not going to do any such thing.
No, Mr. Aldrich?
No.
Come on, Dizzy.
Now, I've got to go out to the kitchen and wash my hands.
You know, Dizzy, I had a feeling all the time we shouldn't be doing this.
Well, that's only part of the trouble. There's something you don't even know anything about.
What?
Well, when I came in the front door this evening, I put some ink on the doorknob.
On the outside?
On both sides.
Gee whiz, Dizzy.
I did it so we'd be sure to get everybody.
Well, we've got to wipe it off.
If we do, Henry, we won't have prints of anybody but our own.
Boys, have you gone upstairs?
Yeah, in 1 minute, Mother.
I hope we won't have to tell Dizzy's father and mother when they come.
When who comes?
Your mother and father.
And we've got to wipe that doorknob off. Give me a handkerchief.
Henry!
Yes, Father, we're just going to open the front door.
You will please go upstairs as I asked you to.
Yeah, but, Father, a mistake has been made.
Please march.
Mr. Aldrich, could I tell you?
Both of you go up those stairs.
Yes, Father. What do you think we should do in a case like this, Henry?
Well, hello there, Frank Stevens.
Oh, so you decided to let us in.
Hello there, Molly.
Hello, Alice.
Well, what do you have there, Frank? Brand new hat?
Spring has struck the Stevens. This color is what is known as dove gray.
That suit he has on is new, too.
Molly, just because you don't like checks. Say, how'd that smudge get on my hat?
Oh, Frank Stevens.
Do you suppose they sold it to me that way?
I told you all the time the car needed washing.
That isn't off the car.
If those smudges were on your new suit, I wouldn't mind.
May I take your hat, Frank?
You may.
Well, there seems to be a smudge on the crown, too.
Yeah. It's beginning to look like a tweed cap.
Put it down, Sam. You probably didn't wash your hands clean.
I washed them perfectly clean, Alice. Look at them. Yes, look at them.
Sam Aldrich.
Well, I certainly thought I washed.
Frank, let me turn your coat collar down.
How did that get up?
My goodness, dear. There. Frank, there's a smudge on your collar, too.
Eh?
Well, I didn't put it there.
Well, all of you just stand back from me. Until I came into this house, I was the best-dressed man in town.
Molly, maybe you'd better hang this hat up.
I can't take it right now, Sam. I'm going to powder my nose.
You want a mirror, Molly?
No, thank you.
She knows where her nose is.
Just the same, Molly. Would you mind looking in the mirror?
What's the matter with me?
Never mind. Just look in the mirror.
Oh!
That's where all those smudges have been coming from.
Molly, go upstairs and wash. And Sam, you go out in the kitchen.
Do you have one more place?
Henry!
Sam, what do you want Henry for?
Never mind. I'm going upstairs. Henry Aldrich.
Yes, Father.
Will you and Dizzy please come here?
Has something gone wrong, Father?
Something has.
Of what nature, Mr. Aldrich?
Did either of you boys put ink around this house?
On the front doorknob?
Yes.
Well, the fact is, Father...
What is all this fingerprinting nonsense?
Well, that's what we tried to tell you. We didn't do it as a joke. We're trying to prove Mr. Walker is guilty.
Didn't I tell you to forget Mr. Walker?
But he wasn't fair. Tell him about what we have in your room, Henry. Yeah, sure. We've got a cardboard box we found in the Walker trash barrel, and it's the box their airplane came in.
Henry, I want you to go straight to bed.
Yes, Father. Where do you want me to go, Mr.
You, Dizzy, may go downstairs and take a look at your father's hat.
Are there some fingerprints on it?
There are.
Do I hear Basil's voice up there?
I'm coming right down, Father.
Do you know anything about this?
Well, it's this way.
What's the matter with you?
I'm going to sneak.
Well, where's your handkerchief?
It's right here.
Basil, look at your grandfather's watch.
Father, could I please come down?
I'll see you at breakfast.
Sam, quick!
What's the matter?
Another guest is at the front door. Henry!
Yes, Mother.
Will you please come to your breakfast?
I'm on the telephone, Mother. Hello, Mr. Stevens? Yeah, I just started to give you the directions. Dip your hat in kerosene, see? Yeah. And if that doesn't work, do you have any lemons in the house? Yes, sir. Just straight lemon juice. And then I think you'll find everything will come right out of your hat. Yes, sir. How's Dizzy this morning? Is that right? Is that right? I won't be seeing him until the end of the week? Goodbye, Mr. Stevens.
Henry, may I talk with you?
Well, I haven't eaten my breakfast yet, Father.
I'd like to see you now before I leave for the office.
Yes, Father.
Sit down on this sofa here.
Yes, Father.
Did I ask you yesterday not to go around trying to prove that Mr. Walker and his son did not honestly win that race?
Yes, sir, but that was before we knew everything, Father.
Finding an empty cardboard box is hardly sufficient evidence to prove someone has been cheating.
But don't you see, you and I are being gypped out of a trip to the Capitol.
The fact still remains I asked you not to do anything more about it.
For why, Father? Why?
Because, Henry, Mr. Walker did buy that plane.
He did?
Yes.
I knew all the time he cheated us. Who told you?
Mr. Walker told me when he came over to my office yesterday.
Oh, gee whiz, then we did get first prize. We can go after all.
Henry, did you know that some weeks ago Billy Walker was taken ill?
Yes, but, Father, that was way back in February.
Did you know that off and on for nearly 2 months, the boy lay in bed with a high fever?
Well, he wasn't sick the day of the race, though. I know he wasn't. I saw him walking around with my own eyes.
That's the point, son. What finally broke Billy's fever was the announcement in the Centerville Times of that airplane race.
How could that break it?
From the time he went to bed, it was the first and only thing he took any interest in.
He certainly couldn't have wanted to go into it any more than I did.
Now, wait, son, wait. The doctors told Mr. Walker it was absolutely imperative for Bill to have a plane and go into the race. That's the reason. And that's the only reason Mr. Walker went out and bought the plane.
I know, Father, but gee whiz, look at it this way.
I'm going to leave it entirely up to you. You may do anything about it you care to.
You mean to say that Billy's going to take that trip to the Capitol when he knows he cheated?
He doesn't know he cheated. Aside from you and I, son, there are only 2 people in this town who know that plane wasn't built in Walker's basement.
Who are they?
One is Billy's father, and the other is Mr. Jones.
I knew all the time Mr. Jones was lying. And he humiliated me right in front of Mr. Walker.
Henry, are you in the house there? Is that you, Dizzy? Excuse me for coming right in, but I've got some great news for you.
Oh, good morning, Dizzy.
Good morning, Mr. Aldrich. I shouldn't be here, but I've got to tell Henry. Listen, I was lying in bed this morning, and I got to subtracting.
Subtracting what?
Those figures of Mr. Collins. When you take 4.5 from 11.5, you don't get 6.
No?
You get 7. Billy Walker didn't win that race. You won it by more than a second.
Yeah?
Sure. It's as clear as anything.
The only thing is, Dizzy, when you subtract 4.5 from 11.5, you do get 6.
No.
Sure you do.
You do?
Of course.
Well, I'll be darned, Henry. I guess you're right.
Sure, I couldn't have won the race. Isn't that right, Father?
For once, Henry, your mathematics are absolutely correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, is there a swell, tasty dessert in the house? The answer is yes when you've got a package of Jell-O chocolate pudding on the pantry shelf. There's no doubt about it. With Jell-O chocolate pudding for dessert, you're all fixed for a feast. Because this grand pudding has a flavor that's really and truly delicious. And with the first dip of the spoon, you'll know you're in for a lot of keen enjoyment. Jell-O chocolate pudding is full of rich, chocolatey goodness. A pleasing, mellow flavor that spells real satisfaction. It's a creamy, smooth dessert, unsurpassed for topping off a meal in top-notch style. And you'll find that Jell-O chocolate pudding is both easy and inexpensive to serve. So tomorrow night for dinner, delight the family with this tempting chocolate treat. There's a world of luscious pleasure all ready and waiting for you in Jell-O chocolate pudding.
I can't begin to tell you how pleased I was with you this morning.
Thank you, Father. Oh, do we have any steel wool in the house?
What do you want it for?
I'm going over and help Dizzy clean his father's hat.
If there's anything left of Mr. Stevens' hat when Henry and Dizzy get through with it, I'll eat mine. The Aldrich Family, starring Ezra Stone, is written by Clifford Goldsmith. Original music is composed and conducted by Jack Miller. This is Harry Von Zell speaking and wishing you good night for Jell-O Pudding.
That was the Aldrich Family from 1940, and now, the Archies.
We started something, gonna get together, every man and woman, boy and girl, loving one another, all the sisters and the brothers, loving one another round the world. Get on the line for love, hey, get on the line.
That's from the Archies TV show, a 1969 cartoon. 20 years earlier, Archie was on the radio. Some popular music at the time included Lavender Blue, Dilly Dilly.
Lavender blue, dilly dilly, lavender green. If you were king, dilly,
And the country western song Ghost Riders in the Sky.
A ghost heard in the sky. Their brands were still on fire and their hooves were made of steel.
And in 1949, they had this new thing called television. It was a screen in your home that could receive a broadcast over the airwaves. You would need to mount a large aerial antenna on your roof to receive all 4 channels. With programs like Howdy Doody featuring the Marionette Cowboy.
Well, howdy doody, boys and girls, and...
Hi there, Howdy Doody. Hi, kids at home. Hi, Clarabelle. And look at all the wonderful kids in the peanut gallery.
Or if you prefer hand puppets, there was Kukla, Fran, and Ollie.
Here we are, back with you again. Yes, by gum.
And yes, by golly.
Kukla Fran.
Dear old Ollie.
Here we are again. Here we are again. Here we are again.
Here we are again.
And then for grown-ups, there was Mr. Television, comedian Milton Berle.
How do you like this? Isn't it wonderful? What you got to go through for a lousy $15,000 a week, isn't it murder?
Here is Archie from April 21st, 1949.
Hello? Hello, Jughead. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or death.
Relax, Archie. Relax.
Yes, there he is again. The young readers of Archie Comics magazine know and love so well Archie Andrews and all his gang. And now for our weekly visit to Riverdale. It's early evening as we look in on the Andrews home. Archie is in his room studying. Mr. Andrews has gone downtown for some cigars, and Mrs. Andrews is straightening up the living room.
lavender blue, dilly dilly, lavender green. For pity's sake, what on is that? All right, I'm coming. Fred, what on earth are you... Fred, what's that?
Ma'am, look out of my way. This box is heavy. I can't hold it all night.
Oh, Fred, what is it?
You'll see, dear. You'll see. Now, quick, move that lamp over so I can set this down.
All right.
There. Boy, that weighs a ton. I should have let him deliver it, but I was so anxious to use it, I brought it home myself.
But, Fred, what is it?
You'll see in a minute, dear. Now, just be patient, be patient. Now, just hand me the scissors off my desk, and I'll open it.
All right, dear. But I don't see why it has to be such a mystery.
No mystery at all. Just want to surprise you.
Well, you said you were going downtown for some cigars, and you come back with this.
Well, I found the store was still open, and I bought it. I've been wanting to do it wanting to buy one for a long time.
For wanting what?
Well, you'll see. I almost have the box cut open now.
Oh.
There you are, dear. How do you like that?
Fred Andrews, a television set.
Uh-huh.
Why, Fred, I never dreamed you'd buy a television set. The last time I asked you about one, you said they cost too much money.
I know, dear, but they've come down quite a bit in price, and I decided we might as well keep abreast of the time. Do you like it?
Oh, Fred, I love it. I adore it. When can we see something on it?
Well, the man at the store is sending someone out to install the aerial in 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
But he said we should be able to get 1 or 2 stations right now without any aerial.
Why, Fred, that's wonderful.
Yes, Mary, I think it is, too. From now on, I expect to spend many a long, comfortable hour right in my armchair watching television. Yes, sir. Boxing matches, movies, Broadway reviews, everything right in my own living room.
Fred, never mind the speeches and turn it on. I want to...
Hiya, Mom. Hiya, Dad. What's that?
Why, Archie, that's
a television set.
Yes,
Gee whiz, when did we get it?
Well,
boy, isn't that terrific?
Yes,
when
Archie.
can we see something on it? Just wait till I tell the kids that we got a television set. Oh, boy,
Archie.
thanks a million,
Archie,
Dad.
you're-
Thanks a billion.
Archie.
Thanks a Jenny.
Archie! All right. So you're happy we got a television set. Now, will you please calm down? I carried this set all the way home so I could see something on it tonight.
She was okay, Dad, but will it work without an aerial?
Well, the man said we might be able to get 1 or 2 stations before they install the aerial.
Oh, boy, that's swell. Turn it on, Dad. Turn it on.
Now, in a minute, Archie, in a minute. But first take this cotton and put it in the trash can. Now, I'll lift the set up and you pull the cotton out.
Okay, Dad.
Go ahead, Archie.
Got it, Dad.
There.
I'll be right back. Oh, boy, a television set.
Now, Mary, all I have to do is plug it in and we'll see what...
Fred,
Yes, dear.
before you plug it in, we've got to put it in a better place than that.
Well, what's wrong with where it is?
Fred, you can't leave it in the center of the room like this. It ought to be off in the corner so everyone in the room can see it.
Well, maybe you're right.
Put it on that end table over there.
All right, Mary. I'll just lift it up and put it down here. There. How's that?
Oh, no.
Yes, I thought you get... Oh, no. Mary, what's wrong with it here?
Well, that table's too low. We'd practically have to lie on the rug to see anything.
Well, it is a little low, isn't it?
Certainly is. Fred, I know. Put it on the bookcase over there.
Well, all right, dear. That should be better. I'll pick it up again.
Can I help?
No, just look out of my way. Hey. Now, how's that?
Oh, Fred, no.
Yes, it is, my dear. No? Mary, now what's wrong with it?
Well, it's too high.
Oh, but
the only place to put it is on your desk over there.
On my desk? But, Mary, it'll cover the whole desk.
Fred, it will not cover the whole desk. Do you want to see something on this set, or do you just want to put it where it's out of the way?
Oh, me. All right, Mary. On the desk it goes. There. Now, how's that?
Fred, that's fine. See, it only takes up about half your desk.
Half the desk. Oh, sure. That's great.
Fred, that's a perfect location for it. Just the right height, and you can see it from every part of the room.
Yes, Mary, I suppose you're right. But for Pete's sake, let's hook it up. I want to see something for my money.
All right, dear. Go ahead.
By the way, Dad.
Yes.
Gee whiz, you're not going to keep the set over there, are you?
Well, yes, Archie. What's wrong with keeping it there?
Well, gee whiz, Dad, you're supposed to face the set away from the light. And that way it faces right toward the window, and you won't be able to see a thing on it in the daytime.
Oh, good grief, it does face the window, doesn't it?
I never thought of that. Fred, you'll just have to put it on the coffee table.
Yeah, on the coffee table? Mary, that's where I had it in the first place.
Well, it's the only place for it, I guess.
Oh, fine. All right, Mary. I'll put it on the coffee table. But I warn you, this is the last time I'm going to move this set. I want to turn it on, not lug it around the room all night.
Yes, dear. You won't have to move it again.
Well, all right. There. Now, for Pete's sake, let's see some television. Archie, plug this in.
Okay, Dad. It's in.
All right. Now, I'll turn it on.
Gee whiz, nothing happens.
Archie, give it a chance to warm up.
Fred, look, the screen lit up.
Yes, Mary, but we don't seem to be getting any picture.
I told you we'd need the aerial first, Dad.
Archie, look, the man said at least one of the channels should work without an area. Now, let's just dial around and see what we can find.
Fred, the screen flickered.
Flickered, yes, Mary. That's because I changed stations.
Oh.
But I don't see anything.
No, nothing on that channel. I'll try another.
Nothing there either. Nothing there.
Oh, dear. I hope we can see something.
It'd be just my luck that we won't. Well, how do you like that? I tried every channel, and we don't get a single thing.
Oh, I don't think you tried this one, Dad.
Now, Archie, I tried them all.
Gee, Dad, I was sure you missed this one.
Well, try them again if you want to.
All right.
And how do you like that? Here I was looking forward to a nice evening, sitting in my armchair and watching television.
With
and
us
all...
to beautiful India.
What was that?
I got it.
Fred, it's on.
Good grief, it is on. Archie, how did you do it?
I tried this channel, Dad, the one you missed.
Archie, that's wonderful.
It's the travelogue.
Oh, yeah. About India.
Yes, India. Land of the Mohammedan and Hindu.
Oh, sweet.
Land of the elephant and the tiger. Land of gold and spices. India, land of mystery.
Well, how do you like that? We're going to see television tonight after all, and a travelogue.
I love travelogues.
Me too.
Fred, can't you get a better picture?
Better?
Yes, it's so gray.
Oh, all right, dear. I'll just adjust this gadget here. How's that?
No, that's too dark.
Well, how's that?
No, that's too light.
Well, how's this?
Fred, that's fine.
Yeah, Dad, that's fine. Gee, I wonder what that building is they're showing.
The Taj Mahal.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, the beautiful Taj Mahal. Most famous mausoleum in the world.
Well, come on, pull up some chairs, folks. Turn off the lights. We're all set to watch this travelogue.
Here's a chair, Dad.
Thanks, Archie.
I'll sit on the couch here.
And I'll sit in the armchair.
Fine. Now, turn off the lights, Archie, and we'll be able to see it nice and clearly.
Okay, Dad.
Oh, my, that makes quite a difference.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, boy, it sure is. Well, this television is terrific.
Yes, it is.
The Taj Mahal was built in the 17th century by Shah Jahan for himself and his wife.
Boy, that Taj Mahal is a regular palace.
It sure is.
It is built of gold and precious jewels of every description. Historians tell us it took the labor of 20,000
Yes, dear.
men
Was that the doorbell?
working for 20
I didn't ring the
years
doorbell.
to erect
Neither did I.
this beautiful edifice.
Fred, I'm sure I heard the doorbell ring. Turn the set off so we can tell.
But, Mary,
Turn it off for just 1 second.
Oh, all right. There, it's off. Now, where's your... Oh,
There, I told you I heard it ring.
oh, great. I guess you did hear it at that.
Of course I did. Archie, turn the light on and go see who it is, dear.
She was okay, Mom. But I don't know why somebody had to come here just when we were watching our first television program.
Hello.
She was Jughead.
What'd you expect? A ghost rider in the sky?
No, Jughead, I did not expect a ghost rider in the sky, and I didn't expect you either. Come on in. I'm watching television.
Television? Archie, did you say television?
Yeah, we just got a new set, Jughead.
Gee whiz. Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews.
Hello,
Mrs.
Jughead.
Andrews.
Hello, Jughead.
Gee whiz, you got a new television set, huh?
Yes, Jug, and
Why didn't you turn it on?
we turned it off
You can see
because...
all kinds of swell programs on television.
Yes, Jug.
I always watch it over at Pinky Schultz's house.
Yes,
So you
Jug,
can
but
see
I-
Howdy Doody. It's Howdy Doody time. It's Howdy Doody time.
Jughead,
You can
I-
see Milton Berle. I'll give you a shot in the head. What the hey? What the hey?
Jughead,
I'm Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. I'm Kukla.
I'm Ollie.
I'm Fran. Toy.
Jughead, all right! So you're Howdy Doody, Milton Berle, and Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. Not to mention Toy. But I was watching a travelogue on India, and I want to watch it some more, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll even stay and watch it with you.
All right, Jughead, you may stay and watch it with us, but...
I better call my mother and tell her where I am now.
Oh, fine. All right, Jughead, go call your mother.
Okay. Boy, I'm sure glad you folks got a television set.
Mary, I can see a television set has certain disadvantages.
Riverdale 689, please.
Gee whiz, Dad, turn the set on before we miss the whole thing.
I am, Archie, I am.
And so we come to Bombay, chief seaport of Western India.
Hello? Mom?
A city with
What?
a population of
I can't hear
1.5
you.
million people.
Speak a little louder.
Situated on the island of Bombay.
Louder.
It is
Louder.
connected to the mainland by this
I
causeway.
still
and
can't hear you.
breakwater.
Kiss him here, Mom.
Bombay
Mr. Andrews?
contains many of the
Fred,
finest
Jughead's calling you.
Me?
Factories.
What is it, Jughead?
Office
Could you turn the set off for a minute? I can't hear anything.
What?
Turn the set off?
Yeah, but Jughead, I'm
Fred,
watching...
turn it off for 1 minute.
Oh, me. All right, Mary, I'll turn it off for 1 minute.
Right.
Thanks, Mr. Andrews.
Jughead, you're welcome. But I'd like to know why I can't watch
Fred,
this.
Jughead will be through with his call in a minute. Then you can watch your travelogue.
Hello, Mom. This is me, Jughead. Yeah, I'm at the Andrews. I'm watching television. Yeah, television. Yeah, they just got a new set. What? I don't know where they got all their money.
Oh, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be here for a little while. Yeah. Okay, I will. Bye.
Well, Jughead, are you through with your call?
My mother said I could stay.
Well, that's
She
fine.
said I could even have supper here.
Supper here? Oh, for pity's sake.
Gee whiz, Mom, what about getting some supper?
Oh, I forgot all about it in the excitement of your father's bringing home this television set.
Gee, you gotta get supper. I'm hungry.
Now, Jughead, be quiet. Fred, I'll have to go get supper.
All right, Mary, get supper, but I want to turn this set on.
Gee, Mom, I got a good idea. Why don't you have a light supper, just a sandwich and some milk, and then we can eat right here and watch the television.
Why, Archie, that's a fine idea.
Yes, it is. Just make us some ham sandwiches or something.
All right, I'll bring them in when they're ready.
All right, now, for Pete's sake, let's have no more interruptions. I want to watch this travelogue.
Okay, Dad, turn the set back on.
All right, now, turn the lights out.
Okay.
Now, I'll turn the...
Hey, what'd you do?
Jug,
It's dark in here.
Jug,
I'm afraid of the dark.
Jughead, please.
I don't even sleep in the dark.
Jug, we...
It's too dark with the lights out.
Jughead, will you please be quiet?
Who, me?
Yes, you. We simply turned the lights out so we can watch the television better. Now, there's nothing to be afraid of. Archie and I are right here with you. And when I get the set turned on, it won't be quite so dark.
Well.
Now, just be quiet and sit down.
Okay, I'll sit right here.
You Jughead, you're sitting on me.
Gee, I'm sorry. I couldn't see anything.
Well, get off me and get on your own chair.
Okay. I'll sit over here.
Jughead, you're sitting on me.
Gee whiz, I'm sorry.
Well, so am I, and get off me.
Okay. Well, where's my chair anyway?
To your right a little.
Oh, okay.
Well, what was that?
Jughead, what happened?
Sat down on the chair. You told me it was there, but it wasn't.
Oh, great.
A fine trick that was, Archie. You tell me there's a chair there, and when I lower my landing gear, no chair.
Jug, I just
You pull that chair out from under me, I bet.
Jughead!
Huh?
Jughead, I did not pull any chair out from under you. You just missed the chair. It's right here.
See? Oh, yeah. I see it now.
Okay. Now, for Pete's sake, sit down on it.
And be quiet.
Okay.
Now, I'll turn the set on.
The River Ganges, some 1,500 miles long and 3 miles wide at the widest places, is the sacred river of India. It is the sacred beauty of Hindus.
Was that the door again?
To wash
I didn't hear
the
it.
waters
I heard it.
of the Ganges.
Gee whiz, Dad, you better shut off the set again so we can tell.
Archie,
Well, it may be something important.
Oh, me, all right, Archie. I'll turn it off again. There, you see? I told you it wasn't the doorbell. Oh, fine. I guess it was the door.
I'll get it, Dad, as soon as I turn this light on. There. I sure wish people wouldn't keep ringing that doorbell when we're watching television.
Hello, Archie.
Well, gee, hiya, Betty. Come on in.
Well, thanks, Archie. Mother sent me over to return this salad bowl she borrowed from your mother.
Oh, okay, Betty. I'll give it to her. But, Betty, guess what we got?
What?
A television set.
A television set? Archie, you're kidding.
No, I'm not. Come on in and see. It's Betty, Dad.
Oh, hello, Betty.
Hello, Mr. Andrews.
Hello, Betty.
Hi, Jug. What are you doing here?
Watching television.
Golly, you do have a new set, don't you, Archie?
Yes,
It's
Betty.
a pretty good set, too.
When'd you get it?
Well,
Just
we got
tonight.
Golly, does it work yet?
I was
yes,
watching the travelogue.
Jughead, whose set is this? Mine or yours?
I was just telling Betty about it for you.
Well, it's my set, and I'll tell her myself.
What's wrong with
Archie,
my telling?
Well, I want to
Archie,
tell her, and I don't think that you...
Archie! Now, look. It so happens this is not Jughead's set or your set. It's my set. And I don't care who tells Betty about it. I want to watch it. Do you hear?
Yes, Dad.
All right. Now, if Betty wants to watch it, she may. But I want all of you to sit down and be quiet.
Okay, Dad. Pull up a chair, Betty.
Well, all right, Archie, but I have to be home for supper soon.
Have supper here. I am.
Oh, fine. Jughead, who asked you to...
Golly, may I have supper here?
Well, gee, I guess so, Betty. We're just having some sandwiches right here so we can watch the television at the same time.
Great. Archie, will you please be quiet? I want to turn the set on.
Okay, Dad, okay, but I better tell Mom to make enough for Betty, too.
Oh, fine. All right, Archie, tell your mother...
Sandwiches and milk, dear. Oh, Betty, hello. Hello, Mrs. Andrews.
Betty's staying for supper, Mom.
What? Oh, that's fine, dear, fine. But
Well, I'll have to take this tray back and make some more sandwiches.
Oh, golly, if you don't have enough, Mrs.
Oh, no, I
Andrews.
have enough, dear. I just have to make them, that's all.
Oh, all right, Mrs. Andrews, if it's no trouble.
Well, Betty, it's all set now.
Thanks, Archie.
All right. Now, do you kids mind if I turn the set on?
Well, go ahead, Dad.
All right. Now, turn the lights out.
Okay, Dad.
Now, I'll turn the set on. I want to see the Ganges River.
Towering peaks of the Himalayas, greatest mountain range in the world.
Oh, great. We missed the part about the river.
The Himalayas extend approximately 2,000 miles along northern India.
Well, Betty, how do you like it?
From 100
Golly, Archie, that's awful.
Yeah, awful.
Awful? What's awful about it?
Well, the glare is so strong.
Glare.
Uh-huh. Hey, you're supposed to wear sunglasses when you watch television.
Sunglasses?
Uh-huh. Then you can see the picture much better, and it's better for your eyes, too.
Yeah, they wear sunglasses at Pinky Schultz's house.
Gee whiz, Dad, turn the set off and I'll run upstairs and get our sunglasses.
Archie, I can see this picture perfectly well without glasses.
But just try glasses, Mr. Andrews, and you'll see what a difference it makes.
Yes, but Betty,
Yes, much better.
Jug,
You don't want our eyes to go bad, do you?
Oh, me. All right, Archie, I'll turn the set off again.
I'll turn the lights on.
Well, go ahead, get sunglasses. But frankly, I could watch this program a lot better if you kids wouldn't give me so many bright suggestions on how to watch it.
I think our sunglasses are right down here in this drawer. Yeah, here they are. Here are yours, Dad.
Thank you.
And you can wear my mother's, Betty.
Well, thanks, Archie.
And I'll put mine on. What about me? You can just squint.
Squint! Squint! Oh, you don't care about me.
Jug,
I can go blind for you
Jug,
care. It doesn't matter if the glare bothers my eyes.
Red, for Pete's sake, be quiet.
Who, me?
Yes, you. You can wear my glasses.
Oh, golly, Mr. Andrews, what'll you wear?
Betty, I did not want any sunglasses in the first place. The picture was absolutely fine the way it was. But I want to see it. You kids will only sit still and not keep making many bright suggestions.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Andrews.
All right, all right. Now, turn the lights out, Archie.
Okay, Dad.
Now, I'll turn the set on. You know, those pictures of the Himalaya mountains are interesting.
Is the Bengal tiger, the largest type of tiger found anywhere.
Oh, great. We missed the part about the mountains.
Gee, that's the first green tiger I ever saw.
Jughead, that's because you're wearing colored glasses, and be quiet.
The Bengal tiger generally hunts its food near water holes and small ponds, waiting for deer, antelope, wild hogs, and buffalo.
Oh, I can see much better now, can't you, Archie?
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
You took out all the glare. You ought to try them, Mr. Andrews.
Betty,
Here, try mine, Dad.
Archie,
I can't see a thing.
Oh, great. If you kids like the sunglasses, wear them. If you don't like them, don't wear them. But I want to watch this travelogue. Do you hear?
Okay, Dad, okay.
Tigers have been known to kill 32,000 cattle in India in a single year. Here you see the natives.
Gee whiz.
Now what?
Trap
The door again.
What? I didn't hear it.
Oh, I did, Mr. Andrews.
I did too. Turn the set off, Dad. You'll see.
Oh, me. All right, Archie, I'll turn it off. But so help me, if that bell doesn't stop for me, I'm going to disconnect it and nail the door shut. There. It's off. And...
See, Dad, it is the bell.
Oh, me. Well, go answer it, Archie, and hurry up.
Okay, Dad, I'll turn the light on. I sure wish we could watch that travelogue for just 1 minute. Boy.
Hello, Archie.
Oh, fine.
Hi, y'all, Archiekins. It's awful good to see y'all, Archie. Dear. What on earth are you doing wearing sunglasses in the house?
Oh, these? Well, I'm wearing them to watch television, Veronica.
Television?
Uh-huh.
My goodness, do you have a television set?
Yeah. Come on in and see it.
All right, I'd love to. Oh, hello, Mr. Andrews.
Hello, Veronica.
Hello, Betty. Hello, Jughead.
Hi, Veronica.
My goodness, are you all watching television?
Uh-huh. And we're all having supper here, too. You want some, Veronica?
Oh, great. Jughead, would you please quit
Well,
inviting...
I'd love to. I don't have anything special to do anyway.
Oh, me. Order another sandwich, Archie.
Okay, Dad.
Well, here are the sandwiches. Oh, Veronica. Hello, Mrs. Andrews.
Veronica's staying for supper, too, Mom.
Staying for supper. But, Archie, I just finished making all the sandwiches.
Well, couldn't you make just one more, Mom?
Oh, dear. All right.
take this tray back and make some more sandwiches.
You can leave my sandwich here.
Jug, be quiet. Now, Veronica, will you please pull up a chair and sit down? This set has been off and on 10 times in 10 minutes, and I'm getting...
Oh, goodness. That's not a very large screen, is it?
No, Veronica, I guess it
The
isn't,
screen on our set's about twice that size.
Yes,
We
Veronica, I
get
know
a
there is
good large picture on our set.
Veronica,
I don't know how you can see anything on this set.
Veronica, all right. I can't see anything on this set when it's turned off. Will you please sit down?
All right, Mr. Amos, I won't say another word.
All right. Now, I'll just turn this... Oh, fine.
Yes, Mom?
I have so many sandwiches and so many glasses of milk now. I need somebody to help me carry this tray in.
Okay, Mom. Jughead, you go help Mom.
Me?
Yes, Jug, you. I've been hopping up and down to answer the door every 2 minutes, and I want to see some of this travelogue.
Gee whiz, okay. I'll go, but I don't know what.
Well, now, if you have that settled, may I turn on this set? I want to see them capture that tiger.
Oh, sure, Dad. I'll turn the lights on.
All right. Now, I'll turn the set on.
Known as the island of Ceylon.
Oh, fine. We missed the tigers.
Yeah, I guess this is about how they grow tea.
Ceylon is in the Indian Ocean, 60 miles southeast of Hindustan.
Here comes the food.
With an
Oh, great.
Turn the lights on.
Oh, no, you don't, Jug. You can pass the sandwiches out with the lights off. It's not that dark in
Ceylon is
here.
famous
Well, okay.
throughout the world.
Wait till I set this tray down someplace.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm all wet.
Gee whiz, I spilled a glass of milk.
Right down my back.
Oh, gee whiz.
I'm all wet. Jughead spilled a glass of milk down Veronica's back. Oh, Fred, turn the set on.
I am.
Oh.
Archie, turn the lights on.
I'm trying it, Dad. Oh, here it is. There.
Oh, dear. Veronica's dress is popping wet.
I asked somebody to turn the lights on.
Jughead, never mind whether you ask somebody to turn the light on or not. And Veronica, please stop that crying. Veronica, please,
My dress is ruined.
Veronica, Veronica,
I'm going to go home in a wet dress, and it's a brand new dress.
Veronica, look, I'll buy you a new dress.
You will?
Oh, fine. Yes, I will. And you can go upstairs with my wife, and she'll lend you one of her dresses to go home in.
Oh, all right, Mr. Amos, that'll be fine.
I hope my dress is fit to Veronica.
Well, we have that settled. Now, for Pete's sake, let's watch this program and eat your sandwiches and have no more trouble.
Okay, Dad. Okay, I'll turn the light on.
And I'll turn the set on.
Notice the extremely
Pass the sandwiches,
primitive
Jughead.
farming
Pass
methods
the sandwiches.
used by
I don't have them.
You don't? Betty, do you have them?
No, I didn't even see them.
Will you kids please be quiet?
Gee, Dad, we're just looking for the sandwiches.
Where did you put them?
On your armchair.
All right, I can find it. On my armchair. Oh, good grief, I'm sitting on them.
Golly. Oh, boy. Mr. Andrews is hatching ham sandwiches. Turn the set off.
I am. Archie, turn the light on.
I am, Dad.
Fred, why on earth did you sit on a sandwiches?
Mary,
I'm hungry.
And we're missing the whole program.
Archie,
Those
never mind.
sandwiches are ruined.
Betty,
They didn't do your suit any good either.
Now, just a minute. Just 1 minute. This nonsense has gone far enough. Too far, in fact.
Yes, Mr. Andrews. Yes, dear. Yes, Dad.
And how?
Jug, be quiet. Now, half hour ago, I wanted to settle down to a nice, comfortable evening in my armchair and watch television. But what happened? All of Archie's friends wind up here, invite themselves to supper, and keep interrupting my program. Jughead's afraid of the dark, and Betty wants sunglasses. And Jughead spilled milk all over Veronica, put sandwiches on my chair. Now, I have stood all I'm going to stand. You kids can watch television if you want to. But from now on, I want you all to be absolutely stock still. I don't want to hear a word out of any of you. Not a peep. You understand?
Yes, Mr. Andrews.
And I, by George, am going to spend the rest of the evening enjoying this television set, starting right here and now.
And so we conclude our telecasting for today.
What?
We'll be back on this same channel tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. Good night.
Oh, no. I missed the only program they had on
The Andrews will be back in just a moment, but first, you know, folks, you're lucky you live in America, the land of opportunity. Because where else can you save in the safest, surest investment in the world? The United States government and your own future besides. Where else would you have the opportunity to make $75 grow into $100 in only 10 years without any more effort on your part than signing your name? Yes, I'm referring to savings bonds. United States savings bonds through the payroll savings plan where you work. Start saving now during the big opportunity drive. Sign up for the payroll savings plan. It's a plan where you put a little money aside every payday, regular as clockwork. And pretty soon it mounts up. A plan that saves for you automatically. Saves in savings bonds that pay you at that famous $4 for every 3 rate in 10 short years. If you aren't on a payroll, join the bond-a-month plan where you bank. And during this opportunity drive, buy an extra savings bond whenever you can. Put more opportunity into your future. Invest in United States savings bonds now and often. And now, back to the Andrews. It's later that evening. Archie's friends have all gone home, and peace and quiet have returned to the household.
Fred, I'm terribly sorry we had all that trouble and you missed the only program we could see tonight.
Now, Mary, look, it doesn't matter. In a few days, they'll hook up our aerial and we'll be able to watch a lot of channels and see all the television we want. But right now, if you don't mind, I'd rather forget the entire episode. I don't want to hear any more about television tonight.
I don't blame you, dear. But, Fred, you better hurry and get dressed.
Dressed? Dressed for what?
We promised the Hendersons we'd come over tonight.
The Henderson. The Henderson?
Mm-hmm.
We did? Oh, Mary, that's fine. Why, there's nothing more I'd enjoy right now than a good game of bridge.
Oh, Fred, I forgot to tell you. We're not going to play bridge.
We're not?
No. The Hendersons just got their set hooked up, and they invited us to watch television.
Oh, no!
We've been listening to another chapter of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Charles Jantel and based on the copyrighted feature appearing in Archie's Comics magazine. Archie was played by Bob Hastings, Jughead by Harlan Stone, Mom and Dad Andrews were played by Alice Sherman and Cliff Hall, Veronica and Betty by Gloria Mann and Rosemary Rice. The television voice was John McGovern. This program is produced and directed by Kenneth McGregor. Remember that starting June 8th, Archie Andrews will be heard over most of these stations on Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Meanwhile, listen next Saturday morning at our regular time when we bring you more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews. This is Dick Dudley wishing you all a very pleasant weekend. So long!
That was Archie from 1949. Boy, now I want to watch a documentary on India wearing sunglasses. And now we go back to the Aldrich family at a time when you could leave a list at the grocery store and they'd deliver the items to your home. April 20th, 1944.
The Aldrich family, a special rebroadcast for you soldiers, sailors, and Marines of the United Nations.
Watch a teenage boy in action, and you can probably discover the source of his impulsive vitality. Whatever he does is immensely important and all-engrossing. Henry Aldrich proves that. The scene opens at the Aldrich breakfast table.
Have some bacon, Alice?
Thank you, Sam. I think I will.
Mary?
Thank you, Father.
Henry? Henry?
What? Oh, no thanks, Father.
Well, Henry, I want you to at least eat your oatmeal.
Mother, I ate all the milk on it. And you know how much nourishment there is in milk, don't you?
Henry, did you get overtired at the dance last night?
Who, I, Mary? Tired?
Henry, if you're old enough to dance, you're old enough to eat oatmeal. Now, don't let me hear your mother speak about it again.
Even when I don't have any appetite, Father?
Henry, didn't you hear your father order you to either eat or stop dancing?
Mary, I'm eating it. All I want to know is whether I have to go clear through to the bottom.
Well, it seems to me, Henry, you have the wrong attitude. There are lots of people in this world who'd give anything for a dish of oatmeal.
Mother, it isn't that I don't appreciate it. It's girls that I'm sick of.
Girls, dear?
Boy, never again. Why should I want to fritter away my life dancing?
What's that?
Why should I... Boy, the way I look at it...
Sam, what are you holding your cup up in the air like that for?
I'm fascinated. Go on, Henry.
Well, I just thought things over, that's all. I don't feel I'm getting anywhere the way I'm going. You know what I mean? Being a darn butterfly. So, Mother, don't you think I could just forget my oatmeal?
You certainly may not.
By the way, Alice, has anyone phoned for me this morning?
No, Sam, not that I know of.
No. Well, if any call does come for me, it'll probably be a Mr. Gilchrist.
Who?
Mr. Gilchrist. And please be sure to call me. I'll probably be up in the attic working.
Father, you mean you're not going to the office today?
I am not. And that phone call is very important. Is that clear, Alice?
Yes, Sam, of course it's clear.
And Mary, do you understand?
Yes, Father.
And Henry? Henry, what are you staring into your oatmeal for?
Who, I, Father? I wasn't staring. I was just watching the spoon sing.
Hi, Henry.
Gee whiz, Homer, are you here?
Come here quick. I've got some news for you.
Henry.
I'm coming, Homer.
Henry!
Yes, Father?
When Homer came in, I was asking you whether you understood.
I heard you, Father. Gee, you can depend on me.
Hey, Henry, who do you think I just saw? Who do you think I just had a talk with?
Who?
Agnes. And do you know what she said? She said that when Kathleen got home from the dance last night, she was so upset over the fight you and she had, she couldn't sleep all night.
She couldn't, Homer? She couldn't?
And you know what Agnes said she told her to do?
What?
She said Kathleen ought to telephone you and apologize.
Is that right, Homer? Kathleen's going to apologize to me?
Sure. As a matter of fact, hasn't she called you yet?
No, but she probably will any minute, though. She's well, I mean, if she wasn't able to sleep last night, she's probably having a late breakfast.
That's true. Are you going to forgive her?
Well, I'll certainly be fair. That's the least I can do.
Henry, could you and Homer please get out of my way?
Mary, Homer and I happen to be very busy discussing something. Now, please don't hang around and try to listen.
Henry, all I want to do is use the phone.
Use the phone? I'm sorry, but you can't use it right now, Mary.
Why not?
I'm using the phone.
You're using it. Why, Henry Aldrich, you're standing 10 feet away from it. And all I want to do is phone Daisy Harper and say hello.
Daisy Harper? Gee whiz, you've never gotten Daisy Harper on the phone in your life, but what, you just hung there for a couple of hours at a stretch?
Well, I know my rights, Henry Aldrich.
Don't let her buy you, Henry. Don't let her buy you.
Now, Mary, wait a minute.
Oh, no, I won't. Let go of me.
There, Mary. Now look at what you've done.
Henry, I didn't knock the table over. You did.
Henry?
Yes, Mother?
What was that?
Why,
I'll tell you, Mrs. Aldrich. He was just explaining something to Mary.
Well, please tell him to come in here and finish his oatmeal.
See that, Henry? See that?
Mother, couldn't you save my oatmeal for me so I can have it for lunch?
For lunch?
Sure. Just slice it and fry it for me. Oh, boy, there's the phone. Now, Mary, will you please get out of this hall while I have my conversation?
Henry, I won't listen to you.
That isn't the point, Mary. Do you want to make us feel uncomfortable?
Well, all right. But don't expect me to do this for you all the time.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, is this Kathleen's father?
May I speak with Mr. Aldrich, please?
With Mr. Aldrich?
Yes, this is Mr. Gilchrist. I'm very anxious to get in touch with him.
Oh, yes, it seems as though I remember him mentioning your name at breakfast or something.
I beg your pardon?
Just a minute, I'll call him. Father! Father!
Mr. Aldrich! Listen, Henry, get rid of him fast. Maybe Kathleen is trying to get you.
Hello?
Hello, is this Mr. Aldrich?
No, sir, I just happen to remember, Mr. Gilchrist. My father said you should call him at his office. I think.
He's at the office?
Sure. And I remember he said it was very important. And he must be on his way by now.
Henry, hang up.
The only thing is, well, maybe I can get him before my train leaves. Thank you very much.
And that's all right. Goodbye.
Hello, Mr. Aldrich's office.
Hello, is Mr. Aldrich there?
No, he isn't.
Well, this is Mr. Brown. Do you know whether Mr. Aldrich has gotten in touch with Mr. Gilchrist yet?
Why, Mr. Brown, Mr. Aldrich was expecting him to go over to his house for a conference, I believe.
This morning?
Yes, you see, Mr. Aldrich isn't coming into the office today.
Oh. Well, I'll jump in the car and go right over to Mr. Aldrich's house. I want to get in on that conference if I can.
And I'm sure Mr. Aldrich will be very glad to get the two of you together.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Brown. Hello, Mr. Aldrich's office.
Hello. May I speak with Mr. Aldrich, please?
Mr. Aldrich isn't in right now. May I take any message?
Well, this is Mr. Gilchrist. About how long before you expect him in?
Oh, Mr. Gilchrist, Mr. Aldrich isn't expecting to see you here. He's waiting for you up at his house.
Up at his house? I just phoned his house. They said he was on his way down to the office.
Really? He's decided to come down here?
That's what they said. And I'm supposed to catch a train in 25 minutes.
Well, Mr. Gilchrist, you better hurry up and come right down here then.
You think I'll be able to see him?
Oh, yes. If they told you he's coming down here, he ought to be here any minute.
Very well.
And then, oh, my goodness, I wonder if I can get hold of Mr. Brown. Spend all Saturday here by this phone?
Mrs. Aldrich, that's just exactly what I've been trying to tell him.
Mother, I don't need any fresh air. I slept with my window open all night.
Well, get away from that phone, dear. I want to put in a call.
Now? Just as Kathleen's... Mother, couldn't you please wait just a few more minutes?
Oh, you're waiting for a call?
Yes, sure.
Well, let me know just as soon as you're through, because I have to order the groceries.
Yes, Mother, and thank you very much.
Listen, Henry, I know you slept with your window open last night, but why don't you look at it this way? The sun's shining.
All right, Homer, all right. Why don't you go out then?
Alone? What is there I could do alone? Look, why don't you do this? Why don't you phone Kathleen and get it over with?
Oh, no, Homer. Oh, no, it was her fault, and she's practically dying to apologize to me.
Henry!
Mary, there's no use asking me. I'm not through with this phone yet.
Henry, I'm not even asking you about the phone. I just wanted to tell you that Mother has a can of peas out in the kitchen she wants you to open for her.
Sure, I know, Mary, I know. Now run along. If you think you're going to get me away from this phone with a can of peas, you're crazy.
Henry, must I ask Mother to beg you in writing to open her can of peas?
Mary, may I...
Oh, no, Homer. Mother still remembers the time you pulled the cork out of the vinegar bottle.
Mary, I wasn't going to offer to open your darn can. I was just going to suggest if it's so important you get it open, why don't you bring the can and the can opener in here?
All right, just to show you I will. I certainly will.
Gee whiz, there's the phone. There's the phone. Hello? Hello, Kathleen.
Henry, you're completely crazy. That's the front door. And, Homer, can't you please answer it?
Sure, Mary.
Number, please.
Never mind, operator. My sister just asked Homer to answer it.
I beg your pardon?
It isn't the phone. Goodbye.
Homer, what are you doing over here?
Oh, hello, Father. I'm helping Henry wait for a phone call.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
Good morning, Henry. Where's your father?
My father? Oh, he's down at the office.
Down at the office? Oh, no.
Yes, sir. He particularly mentioned at breakfast that he was going to the office.
Well, what did they tell me he was up here for? Look out while I use your phone a minute.
You want to use this phone, Mr. Brown?
I do.
Oh, Father, I'm sorry, but it's busy.
What do you mean it's busy? I've got to call Mr. Aldrich.
What do you mean you're going to call me? Hello there, Will.
Sam! I thought you were down at the office.
Gee whiz, Father, how'd you get back so soon?
From where? I've been up in the attic.
With Mr. Gilchrist?
But who?
With Mr. Gilchrist, Father. Did you find him all right?
What do you mean? Did Mr. Gilchrist find me? Henry, where is Mr. Gilchrist?
Well, I'm not sure, but I think he said he'd be very glad to wait for you down at your office.
Well, that's a fine thing. Here, let me have that phone.
Oh, boy.
Father, couldn't you please wait just a little while longer?
Wait. Henry, do you realize what you've done? Do you realize that...
There she is, Henry. There she is.
Homer, let me have that phone.
I'm just handing it to you, Henry. Here.
Hello? Yes?
Henry, is that my office?
No, it isn't, Father. It's a sort of a girl.
Will, come with me. Maybe my wife knows something about Gilchrist phoning.
I'm coming.
Hello?
Alice!
Listen, Daisy Harper, this is no time to be calling our house. Now, please hang on.
Alice!
I'm out in the kitchen, Sam.
Were you around when Gilchrist phoned?
Dear, I don't know anything about it.
Sam, I've got my car outside. We'd better go right down to your office.
That's true.
Sam, there are two things I want you to do for me on the way down. First, take this list into the grocer's and leave it.
Now, Alice?
Dear, all you have to do is leave it and run, and they'll fill the order. And then stop off with this note at the emergency aid.
Alice, why can't you use the phone for all that?
Now, Sam, I can't touch the phone. Henry's waiting for a call from Kathleen, and his heart is practically broken.
And do you realize my day is practically ruined? And besides, I don't even go near the grocery store.
All right, then Mary can go to the grocery. But you can stop off with this list at the emergency aid. It's right in the block above your office.
What are we giving them?
Some gingham aprons and 100 pounds of potatoes we have down in the basement and a few other things.
And I have to carry them?
No, dear. Just take this list so they'll know what they're going to get.
Father!
Yes, Mary?
I'm awfully glad you stayed. still here. Could you open this can of peas for me?
Mary, get Henry to open it. I'm going down to the office.
The only thing is, though, Henry!
Goodbye, Alice.
Sam, did you get that list for the emergency aid?
Yes.
Henry!
Mary, are you calling Henry?
Yes, Homer, I have a job for him, and Father says no one but Henry is to do it.
But gee whiz, Mary, can't you see I'm trying to use this phone? Slow.
Here's the can opener, and here's the can, Henry.
Thank you, Mary. Put it right down there.
And if you ask me, Henry Aldrich, no girl in the world is important enough to tie up a whole family like this.
Hello?
Doesn't anyone answer, Henry?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Aldrich's office.
Oh, boy, am I glad to get you. This is Henry Aldrich.
Yes, Henry.
Look, my father says I made a terrible mistake and that I can only talk for a minute.
What did you say?
I've got a call coming, see, and then if the line is busy all the time, she might get discouraged. And my father isn't down there, he's up here.
Mr. Aldrich is up there at the house?
Yes, he turned up in the attic.
Well, I'm awfully glad you called. I'll send Mr. Gilchrist up right away.
That's fine, because my father's pretty mad. Goodbye.
But, Kathleen, I've been expecting you to ask Henry. I can't help that, Nellie. But we're going to have such fun on the picnic. Why don't you go to the phone now and call Henry and ask him whether he wouldn't like to come along with us? Oh, no, Nellie. If you'd like to ask him, you go ahead. But I'm certainly not going to be the one that calls him. All right. Hello?
Number, please.
Elm 303.
Elm 303.
Kathleen, tell me confidentially, have you and Henry had a falling out? A falling out? My goodness, Nellie, whatever gave you an idea like that? I just said I wasn't going to be the one that phones him.
Hello?
Hello, is that you, Henry?
Yes, is that you, Kathleen?
Kathleen? No. Did you want to speak to her?
Why not? No, I mean, if it isn't. Who is this?
This is Nellie Miller. Could you hold the line just a second? Kathleen, here, take the receiver. No, Nellie, don't you dare tell him I'm here.
Well, my goodness.
Hello?
Nellie, is there somebody there with you?
Well, no, not exactly. And Henry, how would you like to go on a picnic with a few of us?
On a picnic? Today?
Yes, we're going to have a wonderful time. And all you'd have to furnish would be lettuce.
Lettuce? Well, I tell you, I'd certainly...
Henry, what's that awful noise?
Nothing, Nellie. I'm just trying to open a can of peas.
You're what?
I'd certainly like to go with you, but I'm expecting a telephone call. It's a very important one, and no, Nellie, I don't think I'd better go with you.
Really?
And listen, I don't like to seem rude, but could you hang up in case that call comes for me?
All right, Henry, if you want to talk to me that way, I was just trying to be nice to you.
Gee, I didn't mean it that way.
Don't apologize. It's only wasting your time. Goodbye.
But listen.
What did he say, Nellie? He asked me to hang up. Well, of all the... My goodness, I don't know what's gotten into Henry.
Miss Thompson, do you have him yet?
I'm trying to get him, Mr. Aldrich. The operator's ringing your house right this minute.
Sam, after you get through talking to Henry, let me have a chance at Homer.
I'll turn him over to you, Will, with pleasure.
Hello? Hello, is Henry Aldrich there?
Yes, hello. Is this you, Kathleen?
Oh?
Isn't this Kathleen speaking?
No, it isn't. But just a moment. There is someone that would like to speak to you.
There is? Oh, boy.
Henry.
What's that?
Henry, I want to ask you just one simple question. Where is Mr. Gilchrist?
Well, I'm certainly glad you called, Father. He's right in the living room reading the National Geographic. What happened to you?
What happened to me? What happened to me? Wait until you hear what's going to happen to you. Henry, what's that noise?
That noise? I'm beating the rug for Mary.
What?
I've got it hanging on the banister, and I'm being very careful.
You tell Mr. Gilchrist we're coming up there and he's to wait. Then you're to get away from there and stay away for the rest of the day.
I'm to stay away from Mr. Gilchrist or the carpet.
From the phone, of course, the phone.
But suppose my call comes for me.
Did you hear me? You're not even to touch that telephone until I say you may.
Yes, Father, I understand.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Sam, you didn't hang up, did you?
Oh, I'm sorry, Will.
Oh, that's all right. There wasn't anything more I could tell Homer anyway.
Just the same, Miss Thompson. Call our house again.
Right now.
Right now. Let's see whether Henry's still hanging around that phone.
Hello?
Number, please.
Elm 303.
Elm 303.
Here's your hat and coat, Will. I hope you don't mind driving us up to the house again.
Well, it has to be done. After all, Gilchrist has already stayed over one train to keep this appointment.
Hello.
Hello, is Henry Aldrich there?
Hello, is this Kathleen?
Just a moment, please. Here, Mr. Aldrich.
Thank you. Henry, didn't I tell you not to touch that phone again?
Mr. Aldrich, Henry's not touching it. I'm touching it for him.
This is Homer? Sam, is that Homer? Let me get my hands on him. We'll be back with the Aldrich family in just a moment. Right now it's intermission and time for our intermission guest, the one and only Tommy Dorsey. Okay, Tommy?
I couldn't sleep a wink last night because we had that silly fight. I thought my heart would break the whole night through. I knew that you'd be sorry, and I'm sorry too. I didn't have my favorite dream, the one in which I hold you tight. I had to call you up this morning to see that everything was still all right. Yes, I had to call you up this morning, 'cause I couldn't sleep a wink last
Now, getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. Due to the fact that Henry has been waiting by the Aldrich telephone for several hours, hoping a call would come through from Kathleen, practically all business and social life in Centerville has come to a dead stop. The scene opens in a nearby grocery store.
Excuse me, but could you wait on me next, please?
Oh, hello there, Mary Aldrich. What do you have?
Why, I'm in an awful hurry. My mother wanted me to leave this list of groceries, and will you send them over to our house, please?
Okay.
Oh, I'm certainly glad you've got a phone booth here. I've been waiting all morning to put a phone call in.
Okay, help yourself there.
Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter? Is the door stuck? Just give it a yank.
All right. Hello? Hello? Why, Henry Aldrich, what are you doing here?
Listen, Mary, can't I have any privacy at all?
Henry, just let me out for a minute. I'll explain things to her.
I don't want anything explained. Apparently there isn't a telephone in this town that a person can use that you aren't on.
You might try De Haven's drugstore, Mary. They have a very nice booth there.
Hello?
Number, please.
Well, look, may I ask who this is?
This is the operator. What number do you want?
Well, could you do me a favor? Could you transfer any calls that may come from me at the Aldriches over to the Homer Brown's house?
I'm sorry. We can't possibly do that.
Oh, well, do you happen to know Charlie Clark?
Yes?
Well, he's a friend of mine, and his sister works there at the phone company. So, does that make any difference?
I'm Charlie Clark's sister.
Oh, you are? You are? Well, I'm Henry, see? And I've got an unusual case here. My father's driven me out, see? He's driven me out, and somebody very important is trying to get me.
Is it an emergency call you're expecting?
Oh, boy, I'll say it is.
Well, I'll take it up with the supervisor and explain the circumstances.
And thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What'd she say, Henry? What'd she say?
Look out, Homer. We got to beat over at your house before Kathleen's call gets there.
Hello, Henry?
Oh, gee whiz, is that you, Nellie?
We're getting some things for the picnic here, and you won't even have to furnish lettuce if you'd like to change your mind, Henry.
Gee, any other time, Nellie, but right now I'm in an awful hurry. Come on, Homer.
Hello, Nellie.
Hello, Homer. How are you?
Homer, come on.
Goodbye, Nellie.
Goodbye.
Oh, Nellie.
What is it, Kathleen?
Here's some nice fancy crackers. Who is that just went out the door?
Henry Aldrich.
Was that Henry?
Yes, he was in such a hurry to get away, he'd hardly speak to me.
Really? Oh. Well, you know, Nellie, on second thought, I don't think I care anything about going on the picnic.
Why not?
I simply don't feel like it. What fun... I mean, Nellie, there's no use pleading with me. I've made up my mind.
Excuse me, but was either of you girls using that phone booth there?
Huh? No, sir.
I wondered. I just found a can opener in it.
Hello there, Mr. Brown. Boy, have I been running.
Henry, is that you? Where's Homer?
He's coming, Mr. Brown. Boy, he couldn't keep up with me. Oh, gee whiz, is that your telephone? I'm just in time.
I guess that is the phone.
Well, don't bother to answer it. I know what it is.
Henry, I'll take that call.
But it's for me. It's for me. Hello?
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 This is Mr. Gilchrist. I want to speak to Mr. Samuel Aldrich.
To Mr. Aldrich? He isn't here. You've got the wrong house.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Henry, who was that?
Nobody, Mr. Brown. Just Mr. Gilchrist. He wanted to speak to my father.
To your father? Where is Gilchrist? Where is he? We've been looking all over for him.
Why, he didn't say. He just hung up.
And may I ask who gave you permission to come in here and answer our telephone?
The telephone company. I asked them to.
Oh, you did you? And do you see that front door?
Yes, sir.
March.
You mean you want me to go?
March.
Yes, Mr. Brown.
Gee, Henry, can you run?
Homer, get out of here.
Who, me, Father?
March.
I'll answer it, Alice. Hello?
May I speak to Mr. Brown, please?
Well, I'm sorry, but Mr. Brown isn't here. You must have the wrong number.
I can't keep getting wrong numbers forever. Whose residence is this?
This is Mr. Aldrich's residence.
Well, this is Mr. Gilchrist, Mr. Aldrich.
Oh.
How is it when I call your house, I get Mr. Brown, and when I call Mr. Brown's house, I get you?
Could you say that again, please?
I'm down at the station, and I just wanted to tell you that in less than 1 minute, I'm stepping on board my train.
You're leaving?
Right now. Goodbye.
But Mr. Gilchrist, Mr. Gilchrist!
Sam, that wasn't a call for Henry, was it?
It was not. Alice, will you please try to tell me what has happened to this telephone system?
Well, I've been wondering about that myself because Henry is just terribly upset.
Henry is.
I think you ought to call the company, dear, and complain to them that Henry's been sitting here by this phone most all morning and nothing has happened.
What do you mean nothing has happened?
Now, Sam, this isn't any worse for you than for Henry. Just remember the poor boy's in the living room completely sunk.
What's the matter with him?
He's so depressed, Sam. He wouldn't eat his fried oatmeal even after I warmed it over for him. Oh, my goodness, there's the phone again.
Mother, do I hear the phone ring?
You do, and if you want to answer it, you may.
Well, thank you, Father. Thank you very much.
And as soon as you're through answering it, I want to have a talk with you.
Yes, Father.
Now, Sam?
Hello?
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 Henry, this isn't Kathleen, but listen. If I were you, I wouldn't come anywhere near my house.
Why not?
The telephone company was just there, and they took out our phone.
What'd they do that for?
They said you told them to.
Who, me? Homer, I give you my word.
I'm phoning from the Havens drugstore, and you better keep away from my father. Goodbye.
But Homer!
Henry, where did your mother go?
I don't know, Father. What do you think just happened?
I know what just happened. Alice?
What is it, Sam? What is it?
Alice, they just delivered some groceries. And may I ask just what it was you ordered?
Why, a lot of things.
Did you order 100 pounds of potatoes?
No.
Did you order any lentils?
No, we've got all that down in the basement. It's what we're giving to the emergency aid.
Well, the store just delivered them to you with a note pinned on the potatoes saying they're all out of gingham aprons.
Sam Aldrich, how could they have done a thing like that?
Does Henry know anything about that? Henry! Henry!
He probably went upstairs. I'll answer it. Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Aldrich. Is that you?
Yes?
Well, this is Kathleen Anderson.
Oh, hello, Kathleen. I guess I know who you want to speak to.
Oh, no, I'm calling you, Mrs. Aldrich.
Me, dear?
Yes, my mother just looked over the list of things you promised to donate to the emergency aid, and she wanted me to phone and thank you right away.
Well, wasn't that nice of her? I hope you need potatoes.
Potatoes? You mean you're going to give potatoes, too?
Aren't potatoes and lentils on the list?
No, I don't think so. I have your list right here. 2 pounds of butter, 1 pound of cheese, 2 pounds of bacon, 5 lamb chops, dozen and a half of eggs, 2 cans of pineapple.
Kathleen, where did you get that list?
Why, Mr. Aldrich left it at the emergency aid on his way to his office.
He took that and Well, isn't that nice?
Yes, it certainly is.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Kathleen, could you hold the phone just a second while I speak to Mr. Aldrich?
Oh, you want to ask him about the potatoes?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to ask him about. Just hold the line. Sam! Sam Aldrich, where are you?
I think he went upstairs, Mother. Gee whiz. Mother, did you know someone let the receiver off the telephone? Mother? Well, gee whiz. Hello?
Hello?
Well, gee whiz. Hello?
Hello, is that you, Henry?
Listen, Kathleen, listen.
What, Henry?
Well, imagine that. How long you been waiting there?
Why,
Boy, am I going to give the phone company the deuce.
the phone company.
Boy, I've been waiting all... are you doing anything tonight?
No, I'm not.
Well, how would you like to go on a picnic this morning?
Henry, it's afternoon.
It is? That's what I mean. How about the movies? Tonight.
I'd love to.
All right. Swell. I'll see you at 8. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Henry, you didn't hang up that phone, did you?
Why not? There wasn't anything more to say, Mother. I finally got my call.
Operator, this is Mr. Brown. I've been trying to get Elm 303 for 2 hours. What's the trouble?
Elm 303? What is the name of the party, please?
Aldrich, Mr. Samuel Aldrich.
I'm sorry, but Elm 303 has been disconnected.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Well, I've enjoyed listening to these shows about my favorite youngsters. If you'd like to contact me, you can email jackbennypodcast@gmail.com or on Twitter @thisdaybenny.